Good morning. It's here, it's here, it's here. Northland Marine. 3 Lakes, Michigan. Alright, I've had this for about a week. Half a week, few days, something, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and put it on today. Now y'all, remember after the last fishing video, I broke the handle on my trolling motor. There it is, right there. The old one, you'll see it in a little while. It broke right across there. The whole thing just broke in half. Who knows why, but it did. So, got a new handle. Now, I'm gonna take the motor off of the boat, off the mount. I'm not taking the mount off, just take the motor off and bring it in the shop where I can get to it better. And this is going to be how I do this. If you've never watched one of my videos like this, it will run long, because I searched and searched on YouTube for a video if somebody has done this. Couldn't find one, so we'll put one up to show y'all how it all goes together. Now the reason I put them on, I make the videos are longer because I hate to watch guys fast forward through stuff and you got the speed going and all this and you can't really see what they're doing. So I try to explain step by step how I do something. And it's not, like I said, it's not really a how-to, it's how I do it. So maybe it'll help somebody out one day when you break yours. And if you're not as klutzy and fall over and land on it like I did, maybe you won't break yours. But there we go. It's almost daylight. Let it get daylight and I'll get that motor off and we'll bring it in the shop and keep going with it. Oh, there you go, right there. Minn Kota Specialist. Alright, first thing I'm going to do, well, what I have done, this handle slides in on the switch. Got this thing here, little piece here slides into the switch, which runs your control. And being this was broke off and it pulled that loose, I've got it positioned back. This is the off position. I've got 3 speeds reverse. We'll check those. See, it's off. 1, 2, 3. Alright, that's the reverse. 5 forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, put it back to the off. That way when I put it back on, I know my switch, because I don't think we're going to have to mess with the switch. I know that's where it's supposed to be. We'll line it up there. Now, next thing, I take the hood off. Now what I can do is go ahead and take this broken handle, go ahead and take that off, get it out of the way. We get 6 screws in the top and the hood. Well, I'm calling it the hood, cowling, whatever you want to call it. Should come right off of there. Should. So now the screws in here, these here, don't have to fool with those, I don't think. There's separate screws in here. So let me get the camera moved around and we'll start taking those out. Now I'm using the drill driver Could use a screwdriver, but I'm lazy. Okay, now I'm gonna be careful. I don't want it to fall off of there because I'm not exactly sure what's connected to the top. There's a battery readout thing up there. There's only electronics on it. And there's always one. Once I get it off and see what's going on, I'll turn it upright. Oh, come on. Trying to hold it together. And that was on top there. Well, maybe we can do it this way. See, that piece of steel, that's going to come right out like that. Looks pretty straightforward, and then we'll take our new one. Slide it right in there. Get that out of the way. And I don't see nothing that looks out of place there. Let's see what I'm doing here. Back up. Remember, this went on top of there. Well, I'm not going to jinx myself and say it went better than, easier than expected, but put them back in with a screwdriver. not left-handed. It's hard to work left-handed for me. That one on. Move to the bottom. Screw fell out. Alright, got one on each corner secure. Everything's back flush. Check our switch. Three reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait till we tighten them all up, then we'll see if it tilts like it's supposed to. Came out, so we'll put it in there. Like I said, there's always one. Alright, we gotta move it. I can't do nothing left-handed. Crashing into the ceiling up here. Double check, make sure they're all tight. That's a heavy motor. Alright, we'll tilt it up. Like that. Just like that. Well, that was easy enough. Now, I was gonna fix this with some epoxy. I was going to put some reinforcing pieces of stainless in there, some little screws. But, and I still might, just so I got a spare in case I ever need it. But this, I'll show you the receipt. $30.50. Shipping, tax, $41.74. There it is right there. I'd much rather have a brand new part for that little bit. I mean, that's a lot of money still, but to me it is. Make sure these screws are tight. They are. Take any chances. Now, when we was out catfishing, I boogered it up a bunch, dirtied it all up on tree limbs and this and that, so I'm gonna clean it up real good. And I want to take a look at something on the mount before I put it back on there. The pull cord was really hard to get it to come up, get the latch to release. So let's go look at that. That's probably, maybe needs a little bit of oil or something. We'll go look. All right, got it all cleaned up. We'll see it again in a minute. I decided I'd go ahead and take the prop off because I didn't do that when I got it. Make sure there was no line under there. I almost didn't get it off. It was really wedged and corroded. It rusted, believe it or not. Now, I am a Minn Kota fan. I've had all kinds of trolling motors. I've always went back to a Minn Kota. Why, on a saltwater series motor, everything on it stainless steel except the pin that holds it here. It broke in half when I was trying to get the old prop off. Now, why they didn't use stainless, I don't know. I think I have some stainless pin material that'll fit. But even this is very brittle. And now, this motor was stored outside in the sun, in the open, for a number of years. And I firmly believe that's why that handle broke. Well, sun will degrade plastic, any kind of plastic. And I'm gonna have to get a new prop eventually, because this one is, I can tell, is a little bit brittle too. So I'm gonna knock the rest of this pin out if I can. Bunch of rust in there. Get a smaller punch, because I don't want to take a chance on breaking it off in there and not being able to get it out at all. Take my little ice pick here. Can't tell if that's moving or not. I don't want to upset inside here too much. Let's try this. Rusted in. I'm afraid it's going to break. knows how to drill it out. Minn Kota engineers apparently are not very smart. Well, why don't you go in there? Let's get a little heavier hammer and try that. Well, that's not budging. So I don't want to upset and beat that up in there. So let me get a drill bit. See if we can't drill that thing out of there. I'm glad I saw this. Alright, that's an 1/8 inch hole. That one's not cutting it. So we move down a size. 7/64. That ain't cutting it. Let's see. Let me think about this a minute. I think I'm going to turn it up. Try to get a drop or two of penetrating oil in there and let it sit for a minute. See if I can't drive it out of there. Oh well, gotta be done. Alright, I managed to get it out. I got it drilled part the way through and then knocked it out with the punch. Now gotta clean this up. It's got a lot of corrosion on it. Now, stainless shouldn't have any corrosion on it. By doing this now, this will save a lot of trouble later on. Piece of Scotch-Brite. Clean that up real good. before I forget. Old school anti-seize. Go ahead and get a little bit on there. Very, very light coat. Now, let's hunt some stainless pin stock. What I'll do, measure it to fit in here, and then we'll clean this up real good. Alright, I think I showed y'all that old pin. There it is. Cut me a new pin. Stainless welding rod. I got a big box of welding rods several years back. I use them for knife pins sometimes. They was going to get thrown away. Don't throw nothing away. Now I took a wire brush and went down through there. I'm going to take some good old-fashioned Armor All. Let that soak in there a little bit. Now I'm going to replace this eventually, because this one has the fins on it, and I'm not a fan of that. But for right now, it'll be just fine. And when I replace it, I'll have a spare. You can break these things. Now, we'll take our new pin. Fit it right in here. Remember, we put some Vaseline on there. What slides on so much easier than what it did. Took this to the wire wheel, the nut here. Cleaned it off, had a little bit of corrosion on it. We'll take just the smallest amount of Vaseline and put on there. Just a little bitty thin coating. Screws back on there like that. There's a nylock nut, self-locking. Tighten it down good. There we go. A little bit of this on there, just condition it up just a little bit. Nothing else, make it shine a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing to the shaft and the top end. With the Armor All. Then, after we check this mount out, it'll be ready to go back on. Who was paying attention and seen what I did? Forgot to put the washer on there. I saw it laying there. No harm, no foul. Alright, let's take a look at this mount before we put it all back together. And I gotta shorten these wires too. I don't know if I'll show that or not. Alright, forward down. Let's see if I can get the camera where you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, when you pull the cord, it's supposed to pull this latch up right there. Hang on, bear with me. Really stiff. So let's take us a little bit of a good old WD-40. Put just a little bit everywhere it moves. Not much. See, I know y'all not gonna be able to see all this, but let's fold it back down and see if that helped. Alright, latched in place now. As it would be when the motor's on it. Nope. Something ain't right. So I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to keep checking on it and we'll see. See what's up with this thing. Alright, got it. Somehow this string must have been replaced, the pull cord, because it was going on top of this bar, which was pulling it up. So I took it off and ran it under there, and it pulls it right out, just like it's supposed to. Well, there, that was easy enough. Now I'm gonna clean this mount up like I did the other, and we ready to put it back together. And then massive cleanup on the boat. I haven't felt good, haven't felt like doing nothing with it, but it's time to clean it up. Probably won't even video that. That's just vacuum and washing it down, and that'll be that. Alright y'all, it's the next morning. It's a little after 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 82 degrees already. I had to come in yesterday, it was so hot. I'm so heat sensitive the last couple of years especially. But we're gonna finish it up right quick. Handles on, mount is fixed. I had to re-silicone these in. They're stuck with silicone. That's the guides where it pivots. I'm going to put some old-fashioned anti-seize in there for lubricant. A little bit on here. I can't get the camera set nowhere where you can see it really good, but I'll just set it over here somewhere out of the way. Bear with me. I'll show you how easy it is to put this back in. Now you could use anything for lubrication like this. You could use lithium grease, or I have seen people use axle grease like you grease your bearings with, but that makes a mess. I tried it. But this is good stuff right here. Put a little bit on that screw there. At least Minn Kota did use stainless everywhere they're supposed to, except that pin on the prop. I don't know why they did that. But they did it. And I don't have a rag right here. Anyway, all this does, simply just sits down in there. Now I did cut the cord because I have to shorten it. And when I put it in there, I thought I might have to shorten it, and I did. Alright, let's see, how did I do that before? Right about there. Hang on, mosquitoes are eating me up already. Anyway, this goes down. It's a tight. Do remember it's a tight squeeze to get it seated down in there. How did I do it? Oh, I know. I put a clamp on there. Hang on. Hey, instead of editing out the words that y'all might not want to hear, I just cut the camera off. Alright, let's get this back. About like it was. There we go. Let's tighten it down. It's got to be, it won't fold all the way down with the steps on the front there. Still got a little squeak to it. Anyway, that's that part. Now, here in a little while, we'll hook the wires back up.